male stripper in a thong, an Amish wrestler, and Kelly Kelly getting her kit off for the third week in a row. Hello, I'm Gadget and welcome back to another episode of the first year of WWE's ECW. Join me today as we take a look back at episode 3. Sabu is making his way to the ring for the first match of the night for the second week in a row. Tonight he's facing a guy called Roadkill, who I think is supposed to be Amish. Sabu goes to lock in the camel clutch early, but Roadkill gets to the ropes and forces a break, even though Joey Styles informed us that the match was Extreme Rules. It isn't long before Sabu heads to the outside to grab a chair. He sets it up for a triple jump moonsault, but Roadkill trips him up into the chair. Roadkill pins, but gets a 2 count. For the next couple of minutes, Roadkill is firmly in charge of this match. He then goes to the outside to fetch a table from under the ring, which allows Sabu to hit his triple jump spot and take the big man out. Roadkill regains control over the match again and hits a cool middle rope elbow drop that legit looked like it crushed Sabu. Roadkill sets up a table and places Sabu on it. Roadkill goes to the middle rope, but there is no way he's going to reach Sabu from there. Sabu gets up from the table and throws the chair right in Roadkill's gonads. He then hits an impressive Hurricane Rana from the top rope. Sabu throws the chair into Roadkill's face, then hits him over the back with it for the big guy to fall perfectly in place for Sabu to hit an atomic Arabian facebuster through the table. Sabu would definitely have the match won, but decides to lock in the camel clutch instead. But Roadkill won't tap. He then uses the chair whilst locking in the camel clutch, and finally, the big guy gives up. This was a great opening match. I didn't have high hopes when I saw Sabu's opponent, but this is a case of don't judge a book by its cover. Sabu exits the ring with a nasty gash on his back. We cut to the commentary team of Joey Styles and Taz, who inform us of tonight's main event. The ECW and WWE champion RVD takes on the guy who he teamed up with last week, Kurt Angle. Holy shit, what a match. I can't wait for this. Next, we get our usual Kevin Thorne under the venue's billboard spot, as you've probably come to expect at this point. Tommy Dreamer is in the ring and is ready to call out the Big Show after the beatdown he received last week. Dreamer says he's got a lot more respect for the Big Show after last week's beatdown. So thank you, sir. May I have another? Well, it's the Big Show. Show makes his way down to the ring. Tommy puts up a fight for all of 5 seconds before the Big Show lays the smackdown on Dreamer for the second week in a row. Show hits Dreamer with 3 thunderous body slams. He then does the sleeper submission slam into his knee thing again. They're really going to have to come up with a name for this move if he keeps on doing it. Show then throws Dreamer into the ropes like he did last week. Everybody's favourite exhibitionist is backstage with a Damien Sandow lookalike. Kelly is showing her tits to Sandow too. He then says he loves to watch, but he likes it when he just shows him, not everybody else. If she wants to be in public so bad, then why don't you come to the ring with me tonight? Kelly accepts and says she'd love to. Backstage, Kurt Angle is about to cut a promo for tonight's match with RVD. Kurt says that if he beats Rob Van Dam tonight, he will earn the right to challenge for the WWE title at Saturday night's main event. Since April 2nd, he considers every day a failure, because April 2nd at WrestleMania was the last day he held a championship belt. Every single night he comes home to his wife and kids and puts on a fake smile. Inside, he feels like a failure. Kurt then says that if he has to beat down RVD so bad tonight to win, then that is what he's gonna do, because failure is not an option. We find out that the Damien Sandow lookalike is in fact Mike Knox. Knox and Kelly are making their way down to the ring to face some generic jobber. Before the match starts, Mike tells Kelly to stay put on the outside, like she's a dog or something. Mike Knox hits a super impactful spinebuster on the jobber Danny Dore. Dore? Outside the ring, a man in the crowd is waving Kelly over to ask her to flash him. Kelly walks over and starts to strip. She asks the man to undo her bra when Mike Knox comes out and knocks the fan flying. Knox gets back in the ring and Kelly waltzes off, presumably to the stripper stage. I like how for 3 weeks in a row, ECW set design has had to include a stripper podium.
Sir, we've set up the ECW entrance, Tron. Where do you want the stripper stage this week?
Knox hits Danny with his finisher and the match is over. The camera cuts to Kelly on the stage about to strip for the 3rd week in a row. Then it goes to a commercial break. Before we return, there is another teaser for the return of Test to WWE on the ECW brand. When we come back to the arena, the announcer says it's time for Kelly Kelly's expose. Kelly starts taking it all off for the 3rd week in a row. After about 3 minutes, Mike Knox finally appears and throws a towel at Kelly to cover herself up. But she throws it back at him and continues stripping. Instead of getting her knockers out this week, Kelly is going to get her bare ass out instead. She goes to pull down her nicks when Mike Sandow Knox covers her up with a towel. The crowd loudly boos. Another week in a row and Mike has ruined it for the boys. I like how after this segment is over, they show a replay of Kelly's best stripping highlights. A guy in a Ric Flair robe makes his way down to the ring, rapping on the mic about partying. When he gets in the ring, he takes off the robe and proceeds to dance in the ring. If you're a regular viewer of these episodes, I'm sure you know what is coming next. Sandman's music hits and he makes his way down to the squared circle. The man in the ring then strips off his pants and is wearing a man thong. He proceeds to dance and jerk off Sandman's kendo stick. Sandman is laughing and drinking a beer, but when the man takes the beer and wastes it by pouring it over himself, Sandman is pissed and proceeds to kick his ass and whip his ass as well. All I'm going to say on the Sandman front is this is the 3rd week in a row now that he's beaten up a jobber. We get the picture, the guy's a lunatic and he likes to beat people up with his kendo stick and drink beers. But when are you going to put him in a serious rivalry with somebody? This has got to end at some point. RVD and Paul Heyman are backstage. Heyman says he wants RVD to know what is at stake. This Saturday, he is defending his WWE title in a triple threat against John Cena and Edge. Heyman says the odds are already against him, but if he loses tonight, the odds against him will become immeasurable when it becomes a fatal 4-way with the addition of Kurt Angle. This is a bit confusing really because Kurt is an ECW roster member, so in a way it would benefit Heyman to have Angle win tonight to even the odds for ECW at Saturday night's main event. RVD assures Heyman he doesn't need to worry because recently he's been smoking. Yep. We all could have guessed that, Rob.
Smoke weed every day.
He's the ECW champion, Rob Van Dam. And that's all you need. Heyman isn't exactly convinced. Edge and Lita appear in the crowd and kick 2 people out of their seats to get a front row view for the main event. When it cuts back from the break, Taz is with Edge and says he doesn't know why he's here. He has no business being here on ECW. He asks him what his motives are. Edge tells him he's the Rated R superstar, and he does what he wants whenever the hell he wants to do it. He says he came here tonight to watch the main event and beat whoever has the title because he's the whole effing show. Angle's music hits and he makes his way to the ring for our main event this evening. The ECW and WWE champion RVD makes his way to the ring and we're underway. It's a great match as you'd expect from the brand's 2 top stars. A lot of the first half of the match is Kurt schooling RVD in mat-based wrestling. The crowd is pretty dead for the match though. They even start a "We Want Cena" chant at one point. Angle locks in the ankle lock towards the end of the match, but Van Dam manages to roll through and deliver a kick to Kurt's face. RVD then goes to the top turnbuckle and tries to hit Angle with a kick, when Angle catches his foot and locks in the ankle lock. Kurt has it locked in for a while, but RVD manages to escape by eventually flipping Kurt through the ropes to the outside. RVD brings Kurt back into the ring and the match continues for a little while longer. At one point Kurt goes to hit the angle slam, but RVD counters it into a devastating DDT. He then goes up to the top and hits the 5-star frog splash for the victory. I can't believe they had Angle lose clean. I really thought they would have protected him here. Edge is applauding RVD on his win and then appears as if he's about to leave the arena. When RVD turns around, Edge rushes into the ring and delivers a spear out of nowhere. That pesky Edge has done it again. He turns to Lita and proceeds to tongue her.
It's sexual, baby.
This was an absolutely fine episode. There were a couple of things I wasn't sure about, like Kurt losing clean and Sandman beating a jobber up for the 3rd week in a row. But overall, I think the show was fine, which is why I'm giving the 3rd episode of ECW 3 out of 5 stars. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel for more great content. Leave a funny thought from this episode in the comment section below and I'll include my favourite one next week. Thanks again for watching and I'll see you in the next one.